How y'all doing? Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. We're going to take a little look here and see what details or information that we can get about the next person that is coming in. So this is going to be one mini reading for each air sign. One for Gemini, one for Libra, and one for Aquarius. So for those of you catching this video in the month of November, from now until the end of November, we are running my Black Friday deal, which is $100 off the Zoom call readings. I have two different options, a 30-minute option and a 1-hour option. The discount has already been applied. That's going to be running until the last day of November. But all of the information on all the different types of readings that I have to offer is down there in the description of this video, okay? All right, let's jump into this. All right, Gemini, let's see. What's some of the first things Gemini is going to notice about the next person that comes in? Some of the first things, 5 of Cups. Well, I don't know. This person may be going through something a little bit difficult. 5 of Cups is typically looking at the negative side of things. This person may be a little bit negative, but they could be going through something rough. You know, maybe they just went through a breakup, possibly. Hang on. Could be a water sign for some of you. This is a brand new deck. Okay, Justice reversed. Yeah, Devil reversed. I think they just came out of a toxic relationship. Yup. So this person's definitely not happy with the way their love life has been going. Absolutely not. And they may not be very good at communicating that either. So I think, you know, they feel like they were treated unfairly. They could have been cheated on, possibly. So yeah, one of the first things you're probably going to notice is that this person is a little bit defensive, maybe a little bit bitter, a little bit pissed off. And I don't think it has anything to do with you. It's just that I think they're going through something rough. I think hopefully it happened recently. You know, if it happened recently, then that's more understandable. But if they're still harboring anger from 2 years ago, that's when it becomes a problem, you know? But I mean, at the end of the day, 10 of Cups and the 4 of Wands, this person ain't playing with you. They really are trying to be in an honest, loyal, committed relationship. They really are. They're not playing games. Let's see how it plays out for the first 60 days. How's the situation playing out for the first 60 days? Got the 2 of Wands there. So a decision's definitely being made in the first 60 days. I think you're going to go for it. You are going to go for it. Going to be highly sexual in the beginning. You all might kind of have a difficult time, you know, connecting at a really deep level in the very beginning. But y'all probably start connecting at a deeper level near the end of 60 days, going on the 90-day time frame. But this person still kind of seems really deep and mysterious. Like, it still kind of seems like there's a layer that you're having a hard time penetrating when it comes to this person's energy. But you're going to make the decision to go for it, though. Here's the thing, though. I think when it comes to a lot of the things this person's been going through, they're bottling a lot of it up. And you can kind of tell, you can kind of feel that there's a lot of bottled up, repressed shit that they're holding back. Okay, well, that's good. At least it's looking like it's heading in a positive direction. Let's see, is there any advice? Any advice for Gemini when the next person comes in? Page of Coins. Okay, well, let this person open up on their own terms. But most importantly, do the best that you can to make sure this person knows that they're safe to open up and express themselves without being judged. Now at the end of the day, there's very little that you can do about that. The only thing you can really do is make sure that you're cool, you're open-minded, you have an open heart, you have an open mind, you're not judgmental. That's about all you can do. Now, whether or not they choose to let their guard down is all on them, but I think they will. I think this person does want to connect with you at a deep level, but they want to know that they're safe to open up and express who they really are at the deepest level. That's what we all really, really want, but it's so hard to know who you can trust with your deepest, most inner version of you. So communication and letting this person know, no judgment. I'm a human too. I've done stupid shit too, right? Yeah, I'm not going to judge you. All right, cool. That was a good positive one, man. That was a good positive one. Good. Believe it or not, y'all, I hate reading that negative shit, man. I really do. I know some of y'all don't believe me, but I really do. It drains the fuck out of me. I hate it. But if it comes out, I'm going to read it. All right, Libra. Hang on a second. Let's get some good vibes in the air and burn it like we just don't care. All right, Libra. What's some of the first things Libra is going to notice when the next person comes in? Next person coming in for Libra. Woo! Got that karmic wheel. Don't let that scare you, though. So I do think you and this person do have karma from a previous lifetime. Now, all that means is unfinished business from a previous lifetime. But the thing about karmic contracts is when you connect with somebody that you were close to in a previous lifetime, you're going to feel a really, really, really intense feeling of soul recognition. Really intense. You're going to feel like you've known this person your whole life. Maybe you possibly have even seen them in dreams. So I don't know who needs to hear this, but when you feel that, when you meet somebody that you swear you've seen them before, you swear you know them from somewhere, you feel like you've known them your whole life, what's happening is you're remembering what your soul planned before you got here. You're having a flashback of a pre-birth memory is what you're having. That's what that is. That's all that is. It's totally normal. Nothing weird about it. There's nothing unusual about it. But you're going to feel that really, really intense with this person. Really intense. And they're going to feel it with you too. Now, here's the thing. Here's the reason why karmic contracts are notoriously more difficult than other miscellaneous contracts. Because it feels so intense in the beginning, it's really easy for it to scare the shit out of you. Really easy. It'll at least scare the shit out of one of you. Like, holy fuck, man. Why does this feel so intense? If you wanted to, you could destroy me. So there might be a little bit of nervousness in the beginning, just mainly due to the intensity of the connection. Okay. Yeah, I think the person that's coming in next does have some trust issues. They were cheated on in the past. Honestly, too, I think they're a little bit jaded as well. They're a little bit jaded. So they may kind of seem to be lacking passion, but not because they're not into you, just because, once you experience something negative so many times, it gets to a point where you're just jaded. And it's like, yeah, okay, bring it on. Bring it on. So when I'm going to find out you talking to somebody else, when I'm going to find out that you want to get back with your ex, When I'm going to find out you're fucking manipulating me, using me? You know, are you at least going to get creative with it? I've done heard every fucking lie. I've been manipulated. Are you at least going to fucking play a creative game? Bring something new to the table? You know, this person's very jaded. Could be an Aquarius for some of you. Okay. All right. Well, let's see how it plays out for the first 60 days. How's it playing out for the first 60 days? Boom. Hey, Empress. Okay. Right on. This going to be long term. This going to be long term. Yeah, by the end of 60 days, you'll be very, very safe and confident in the fact that you ain't fucking going nowhere and I ain't going nowhere. So it honestly might be a little bit of a slow rolling ball in the beginning, kind of, while you're feeling them out, they're feeling you out, and both of y'all are checking off all the boxes for each other. They can clearly see that you ain't playing around. You can clearly see that they ain't playing around. And yeah, after 60 days, you'll be very, 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 very confident that this is going to be long term. Could be a Taurus for some of you. A lot of fixed energy coming through here. Could definitely be a fixed sign for some of you. Taurus, Scorpio, Leo, Aquarius. All right. Speaking of Leo. Okay. Any advice for Libra? Any advice for Libra? I know y'all get so sick of hearing me talk about this shit. Emotional independence, man. Emotional independence. I'm not going to dig that whole rabbit hole up. I don't have the energy for that tonight. But basically, emotional independence, all that means is I don't depend on you to create my happiness for me. That's all it means. It doesn't mean that you're alone. It doesn't mean that you do everything by yourself. Emotional independence means I'm happy, whole, fulfilled, and complete on my own. I don't expect you to make me happy. I don't expect you to fix my loneliness for me. I'm good. My void is full. That's not why I'm with you. I'm with you because me and you could come together and build a badass fucking empire. That's why I'm with you. Let's see. Anything else? Do the best that you can to try to be patient, especially those of you who end up connecting with this person during a Mercury retrograde. Because we know that the next month is going to be a lot of retrograde energy, Mercury specifically, which can seriously impact communication. I'm already feeling the effects of the pre-shadow right now, you know, where you have a hard time finding your words. You might hear me stumbling on my words a little bit and using filler words and pausing because my brain can't grab the words during a Mercury retrograde. I have a hard time communicating. So be patient with communication. Do the best you can to try to minimize drama, if you can, if possible. Don't try to control things that you have no control of. For the most part, trust the process and let this unfold the way it naturally wants to unfold. All right. Aquarius. What's some of the first things Aquarius is going to notice when the next person comes in? Who's the next person coming in for Aquarius? What's some of the first things Aquarius is going to notice this person may be very busy, maybe very, very busy. You may hear them a lot of times making the excuse, I was busy for work. Busy for work, busy for work. I'm busy working. I got to work this weekend. I got called in for overtime. I got to stay over and cover somebody else's shift. Or they just may have a lot of shit going on in their life. For those of you wondering whether or not this person's telling the truth, yes, they are. This person is a very busy individual. Could be an earth sign for some of you. But this person is pretty much an open book. I'm just feeling like this person's really about their money. They all about their money. I don't know if you'll consider that to be a bad thing or if it's something that won't really bother you very much, but it kind of really just seems like this person puts most of their energy and their effort and their heart and soul into their money. Very materialistic, very about their career, about their business, about their finance. I know it's weird in this deck. In this deck, the pentacles are fucking sunflowers, but that's the pentacles. That's money. So, hey, they could be a business person. They could own a business, or they could be a manager. Like they could have a lot of responsibility where they work with whatever they do. Okay. All right. But they do feel a really intense connection with you. I do think that you and this person have had many lifetimes together where you played very close personal roles in each other's lives in previous lifetimes. So there is a very strong sense of soul recognition. Very much so. Okay. All right. This person, for some of you, could possibly be in recovery. I know that's not all of you. All right, let's see how it plays out for the first 60 days. First 60 days. How's it playing out for Aquarius when the next person comes in? I don't know. I'm just thinking that you're having a hard time connecting with this person. You may be overthinking this person's motives and intentions. Like I said, I'm kind of feeling like some of you may not even believe when they say I'm busy. You may not believe them. You may think they're making excuses. You may possibly think that, you know, they're playing games with you. They're not. They're not. I'm telling you, they're not. But it is kind of telling me with the Two of Pentacles again, I think you may be overthinking this a little bit, getting a little bit nervous, thinking this person's not very into you. Okay, this puts you out of your comfort zone because you all aren't communicating very well. In the meantime, feelings are becoming heavier and heavier. So when you have feelings growing exponentially, but communication is not growing exponentially, that's when tension starts building. And if tension builds and builds and builds and builds and builds, and we don't get this energy on track, if we don't do this, that's when this happens. Any advice? Any advice? What's the advice for the next person coming in for Aquarius? Just pay attention to your intuition. Learn to distinguish the difference without judgment between your ego and your intuition. And that can be hard. It can be really hard. I'll give you a couple of little pointers that I've picked up on my journey. I'm sure we've all been in a situation where you have two voices going on in your head about a person. And we've all been in this situation where you're dealing with a person and you have a really strong feeling that they're lying to you, that they're hiding something, that, you know, something's off in a negative way about this person. But with your ego, you use your ego to talk yourself out of that, right? Oh no, I'm sure this and that, and I'm sure they didn't mean it this way. I'm sure they really meant that, and this, that, the third, and everything else, and you talk yourself out of it. Okay. Well, on the other hand, the other side of that coin is equally possible. You can be dealing with a person or a situation in which there is no feeling that something is off, but you hear the ego saying, well, what if they're lying about this? What if they're really doing that? What if they're this? What if that? What if? And your ego can make shit up when there's no feeling attached to it. Now, if you're not careful, your ego is really good at creating feelings, you know? So when you had that original feeling that something was off and your ego talked you out of it, your ego made those feelings go away. Well, your ego can also create a negative feeling that was never there to begin with. So pay attention to the initial feeling. Because if you're not careful and you let the ego brain start running off, you know, without supervision, it can create negative feelings that were never there. And that's when things can start to spiral out of control. I think this person really does have good intentions. They're not playing with you. They're not playing games. But, you know, this could take a turn in a toxic direction if we don't get communication and trust settled in the first 60 to 90 days. All right? All right, y'all. I feel like those were the messages that my air sign family needed to hear, so I'm going to go ahead and end this video here. Thanks again for tuning in and playing along. Remember, for those of you who didn't catch the memo, from now until the end of November, we are running my Black Friday special, which is $100 off Zoom call readings. So I have two different options for Zoom calls. I have a 30-minute option and a 1-hour option. The discount on my website has already been applied. Okay, $100 off from now until the end of November. But all of the information on all of the different readings that I offer, not just Zoom calls, but the pre-recorded readings and everything, the information is all in the description of this video, okay? All right, y'all, I'm out of here. I wish you love, luck, light, and prosperity on your journey.